There comes a moment in your life when you realize something that changes everything. You were never meant to play small. You were never meant to shrink yourself to make other people comfortable. You were never meant to dim your light just because someone else refused to shine. But somewhere along the way, you were taught to downplay your greatness. You were taught to second-guess your power. You were taught that being bold, confident, and fully expressed was somehow too much. And now, you're standing at a crossroads. Either continue to suppress who you truly are, or finally let your greatness speak for you. Let's be real. Most people were conditioned to believe that humility means invisibility, that being humble means staying quiet about your gifts, minimizing your wins, and acting like your greatness is accidental instead of intentional. But that's not humility, that's suppression. True humility is not denying your greatness, it's understanding where it comes from and walking in it with grace. It's being grounded enough to know you don't have to prove anything, yet confident enough to never hide who you are. You have to understand this. When you start allowing your greatness to show, you will offend people, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your confidence will expose their insecurity. Your growth will highlight their stagnation. Your discipline will remind them of their excuses. And instead of rising, some people will choose to criticize. That's the price of elevation. But at the same time, your greatness will inspire others. It will give people permission to step into their own power. It will show them what's possible when someone stops playing small and starts walking in purpose. So the question becomes, who are you living for? Are you living to keep insecure people comfortable, or are you living to fulfill your highest potential? Because you cannot do both. When you downplay your greatness, you're not being kind, you're being dishonest. You're robbing the world of the very thing you were placed here to deliver. Your gifts, your mindset, your perspective, your energy. Those things are not random. They were given to you for a reason. And every time you shrink, every time you hold back, every time you act like you're less than what you are, you're going against your own design. Greatness doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait to be validated. It doesn't look around for approval before it moves. It just is. And the moment you stop asking for permission to be who you are, everything in your life starts to shift. The way you carry yourself changes. The way people respond to you changes. Opportunities start aligning differently. Why? Because you're no longer operating from a place of doubt. You're operating from a place of certainty. Now understand this clearly. Confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance is loud, insecure, and rooted in comparison. Confidence is calm, grounded, and rooted in self-awareness. Arrogance needs validation. Confidence doesn't. So when people try to label you as arrogant for simply knowing your worth, don't internalize that. That label often comes from people who are uncomfortable with someone who refuses to shrink. You can be humble and still walk like you know who you are. You can be kind and still have standards. You can be respectful and still set boundaries. You can uplift others and still prioritize yourself. These things are not contradictions, they are alignment. And here's where it gets even deeper. When you fully step into your greatness, you stop chasing attention and start attracting alignment. You stop forcing connections and start experiencing genuine ones. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't understand and start being recognized by people who do. That's what happens when you stop performing and start being. Right now, I want you to pause for a moment and really reflect. How many times have you held yourself back just to avoid making others uncomfortable? How many times have you minimized your success so people wouldn't feel intimidated? How many times have you stayed silent when you should have spoken, dimmed your light when you should have shined, or played small when you were meant to stand out? That version of you, it's over. You're not here to blend in, you're here to stand out with purpose. And if this message is hitting you, if you can feel this shift happening within you, I want you to declare it boldly in the comments right now. I am greatness. Not from ego, but from truth. Not from arrogance, but from alignment. Speak it, own it, and let it anchor into your identity. And while you're here, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, so this message can reach someone else who needs to hear it. You never know whose breakthrough is on the other side of you pressing that share button. Also, if this message is resonating with your spirit, and you want to support the growth of this channel, you can contribute through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. Every contribution helps expand the reach of these messages and allows more people to tap into their power. And truly, Thank you in advance for your support. It does not go unnoticed. Now let's go deeper. There's a reason why you feel uncomfortable playing small now. There's a reason why certain environments don't feel right anymore. There's a reason why conversations that used to satisfy you now feel surface level. It's because you've outgrown the version of yourself that tolerated less. And once growth happens, you can't go back to who you used to be without feeling it. That discomfort you feel, that's not confusion, that's evolution, and evolution requires expression. You cannot evolve and stay hidden at the same time. You cannot grow into your next level while still operating under your old identity. At some point, you have to make a decision. You either continue to downplay your greatness to fit into spaces you've outgrown, or you fully step into who you are and allow your life to realign accordingly. Yes, that might mean losing people. Yes, that might mean being misunderstood. Yes, that might mean walking alone for a season. But understand this, it's better to walk alone in truth than to stay surrounded in a lie. Because when you finally let your greatness speak for you, something powerful happens. You become undeniable. Not because you're trying to be seen, but because your presence speaks before you even say a word. Your energy communicates your confidence. Your actions reflect your discipline. Your results validate your mindset. That's what happens when you align with who you truly are. You don't have to announce your greatness. You embody it. And when you embody it, the right people will recognize it. The right opportunities will align with it. The right doors will open because of it. But none of that can happen if you're still hiding. So here's the truth you need to accept. Not everyone is meant to understand you. Not everyone is meant to support you. Not everyone is meant to go with you. And that's okay. Your responsibility is not to be accepted by everyone. Your responsibility is to be authentic to yourself. Stop waiting for validation. Stop asking for permission. Stop shrinking your presence. You've done that long enough. Now it's time to rise. Now it's time to walk in your confidence without apology. Now it's time to let your greatness speak so loudly that it drowns out every doubt, every fear, and every limitation that once held you back. Because at the end of the day, your greatness is not something you have to chase. It's something you have to accept. And once you accept it, everything changes.